Hey guys, welcome back to Psychic Shari YouTube channel.
Hi, everybody.
Here with Sherry Klein. She's going to be giving some readings tonight. Sherry,
Yeah.
how's your week? How'd your week
Well,
go?
busy, busy. Yeah, we were talking earlier. I'm big for putting notes everywhere, and I always have a lot of notes all over my dining room table, and it bothers me because I have to see it. So I think I'm going to get it done. So I finally got all my notes taken off
Did you?
and getting ready for my grandbaby, my youngest one. He turns 1. We're going to celebrate his birthday Saturday.
Wow.
So a lot of birthdays. I have from 1 year old to 20 years old.
How
So
many how many do you have?
6. Yeah.
Man,
And they're all with my one oldest boy.
really?
So got his hands full.
Now you got another boy too. He's got to get you some.
I know. I got to get him a girlfriend first. Um, he's a
Well,
good
maybe if there's
catch.
somebody here in central Indiana that
Yeah.
knows somebody for him, right?
I,
Let's
I
play
tell you what,
matchmaker.
you know him. He's 31, does everything right. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I mean these kids nowadays, they're not like what we were, out socializing and stuff. My daughter, stays and plays online games, she doesn't go out much.
Yeah.
Adam, yours the same way, aren't they?
Yeah, he works and then he works out and he's not a big socializer.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people like that are younger.
Yeah.
Something different
Yeah.
about those. We were crazy when we were 20, 25 years
I
old.
know. Maybe they're going to cut the population down because none of them are going to get married because they
Yeah,
don't socialize. They won't have
probably not.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. But all right, so we've got a lot of comments, people requesting readings right off the bat here.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and start it off? We
All
will
righty.
get to, just so people will know, we will get to alphabet messages today. I know some people look forward to that. Um, Debbie Castle might be on. She
Yeah.
loves it. So we'll see. About halfway through, we will get those. A lot of newbies coming on don't even know what that is. So give them a chance to know what that's going to be about. So it should be interesting.
Uh-huh.
So we'll get to the readings here. A few things you should know. Sherry will be giving general readings only. She won't be addressing any specific questions today during the live stream. She's going to tap into your higher self and spirit guides to share the things they want you to know. So it's about the spirit's guide communicating to you their thoughts and what they want you to know, not necessarily what you want to know from them. So these general readings, they do take a little bit more time than just the regular questions that she's done in the past. But we'll try to get in as many as we can in the next hour and a half. We've got a hard stop at 7:30. It gives us an hour and a half to get as many in as we can. So if you didn't get a reading in, that's okay. Um, if you have a specific question or if you want a reading after this live stream is over, go to the video down in the comments section, request a reading. Or if you have a question, put the question down there. Sherry will get to those as soon as she can. And
Yeah.
lastly, if you have a username that includes your first name, then you are set. But if your username is like letters and numbers, um, then when you request a reading, put your first name down. That way we can refer to you as Tim or Sally or whoever you are instead of your computer generated username. So
Yeah.
anyway, that is it. You ready, Sherry?
Yep.
Let's get it going. We'll start
Okay.
off with Lucky Beatrice. She was the first one in.
Hi,
Like a reading.
Beatrice. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. First thing that Spirit shows me is a little tear coming down your cheek. And they're just showing me that your energy is kind of getting pulled out in different directions. And of course, worrying about other people. And that's, that's a lot of people do that. But Spirit is saying that some of the things that are going on around you might be out of your control. And if you're worried about someone, they're just saying pray for them and let them know that if they need to talk or that you can comfort them in that way. Because who are we to know uh, what other people need to experience in order for their soul to evolve? We're not saying just turn a blind eye to people, but a lot of times parents will do this with children too. And so many times we want to step in and oh, we don't want our kids to fall. We want to try to protect them, but sometimes they just need to experience some heartaches and the bumps in the road. So that's what comes up for Beatrice is, let them know that you've got their back, but also we love the Ho'oponopono prayer. If you haven't heard of that, Google it. And that would be something that you can send to your children or family members because I feel like she's getting pulled maybe in a lot of different directions and it seems to be family. So that's what comes up for
Really?
Beatrice.
Okay. Well, I hope that helps, Beatrice. Move on to Eileen. What do you have for Eileen?
All right, let's get into Eileen's energy here just a bit. Okay. One thing that's coming up is Spirit is telling me that you might find yourself needing to call in some workers to do work on your home or around the place. One thing that Spirit is saying is that when they come in to fix something, it might take more than one try, so to speak.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, but it just feels like the job will get completed. But how many times you call in workers and things don't go exactly according to plan? But they are showing me that things will be. They showed it locked up. They literally showed me like a lock, like somebody was locking a door, and they said things are going to get locked up. Um, and one thing too, real quick, is they're showing me burning the candle at both ends of the stick, and Spirit is asking you to. I just hear the words, try not to overdo it. Whatever it is that you're doing, it feels like you got a lot going on, and Spirit is saying, try not to overdo it and to kind of cut back on things if you can. Try to mark things off of your list of things to do if you can, because at this point, less is more. So that's what comes in for Eileen.
Okay. Yeah, I hate that when when you hire some people and they do it like half-ass or they don't get it finished. Ugh,
Or yeah, yeah.
sucks.
I know. Or, it's like where they quote you a certain time
Oh,
frame or a
yeah,
certain amount of money, and then it's more than, oh, well, this happened, and then it just snowballs.
yeah.
So,
Ugh.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to Natalia.
All right, let's see what we've got going on for Natalia here. Her spirit team is kind of coming up behind her, almost just like kind of pushing you out and saying, just go out there and really start to shine. We see a beautiful light coming from all around her head. It literally looks like her aura is lit up. And they said this is going to be the time for you to really shine and to stand in your power. And don't look back. If there's people around you that try to put you down, there's always people like that they feel
Oh,
like they
yeah.
got to knock people down if they're really on a momentum. But they say we don't even see you giving them this time of day. You just keep dancing to your own drum, and thank you. You start out kind of walking, but then they just put roller skates on you and said you're going to feel like you're just skating through life here in the next couple of months. So they're saying be careful what you wish for because they're saying you really have the Midas touch right now. So that is what is coming up for Natalia.
Okay. Well, that's good. Good reading. Let's go to Veronica, Lady Boss.
Lady
What do you have
boss,
for her?
like that. Instantly, I'm drawn into your throat chakra because I keep wanting to clear my throat. And what spirit, I'm asking them, why are we doing this here? They're showing me that a lot of times there are situations, I don't know if this is at work or at home, where you feel like you want to say something and you don't. You just stuff it down. And then later you might be kicking yourself because you'll be like, oh, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. Or why didn't I do that? So your guides are going to give you a lot of opportunities for you to voice your thoughts. And it could even be somebody at the grocery store to where it's just going to work with you on opening up your throat chakra. I hear spirit say, we all know you can't please everybody. So they're saying, don't even try. And the more genuine that you can be, the more authentic, then the more that people, not that they don't respect you now and like you, because we do see that they do, but people will think, wow, she's like, it's going to give you a sense to where you come off with a lot more confidence um, and really standing in your power. And they're saying that spirit's funny because a lot of the readings they'll say, okay, this is like the next 2 or 3 months. They kind of like to buckle it down here in the next 2 or 3 months. So a lot of these readings, this is going, not that this, it can still continue after 3 months, but this is really the time where she'll notice it. So that's what's coming
Okay.
up for Lady Boss.
All right.
I love these usernames.
Yeah. Here's Joshua. Oh, I must commend these chanters tonight. They've gotten on board here. They've got their name, their first name, and the requests,
Wow.
specific questions. Is perfect.
Okay. All right.
Joshua.
All right, Joshua, let's see. Boy, they just show me a smile. They said the more you can smile, the better off everybody's going to be. They just show me a sparkle, almost like you could do, what was that? Was it Trident gum, Bobby, where people would smile on TV and then you see a spark or something?
Or Dentine.
Yeah, something
One
like
of the
that. That's
Dentine.
what these guides show
Yeah.
me. And they
Mm.
just said, boy, very charismatic. Um, Now, flip side of that, your guides are kind of urging you not to believe everything you hear. And it feels like there might be somebody around you who they literally showed me a rat. And when they show me a rat, it's just symbolism like somebody's not playing fair. So make sure that when you are dealing with other people, whatever it may be, if you get a gut feeling like, ooh, something doesn't feel right, better pay attention to that. And and I got to tell you, it feels like this person is kind of sneaky. And they're, we all know people that do things behind your back. So that's kind of what they're saying is that the curtain will be drawn and you will find out who it is. But in the meantime, if you get a feeling like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right, that's all right. Just, less is more. Don't tell them a lot of information, but they're just saying be cautious about it. Does feel like someone maybe in the work arena. So that's what comes up for him.
Okay. Beware.
Yeah, I don't like giving, but you know what? It's not like we're trying to instill fear. Their guides will do that to try to keep, give you a heads up. Because let's face it, not everything is great and super and wonderful.
True.
So,
True. All right. Let's move on to Nick. What have you got here?
all right, let's
St.
see.
Louis.
All right, first thing that comes up for Nick is they're saying don't get discouraged. You might feel right now like, oh, I'm making, going 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and it feels like you're kind of wiggling, going back and forth and back and forth. But your spirit team says that's okay because it's giving you time to think, and to really almost refocus your energy into the direction that really strikes your fancy, that really gets you going. And so they're saying, it's all right when we have these down times. This sometimes is where we really get these epiphanies. We really get these aha moments, and then it gives us time to pivot. When everything's going great and we're going, 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 nobody wants to rock that boat, but it feels like that you're coming up to a crossroads, and to where you don't want to go so fast. Your guides are giving you a time to kind of slow down, to where focus on what it is that you really want and then pivot. That's what they're talking about with Nick.
Okay. Well, I hope that helped you, Nick. And now let's move to Michelle. What do you have for her?
I don't know if Michelle has been doing a lot of cooking or is trying to eat healthy, but the first thing they showed me is her cooking. And literally, she had a spatula in her hand and like flipping up a burger. She might be, a vegan, but they just show me, I felt like I was outside having fun, at a cookout. So the more that you can be around people, mix and mingle, they just said it'll be good for the soul, especially being out. Outside is really very beneficial for you. Even walking out in the woods, we just love the trees, because, of course, she has a very strong connection with the nature kingdom. Um, One thing, too, and I am no doctor, but one thing that comes up for Michelle is they're showing me, like maybe your skin might itch a little bit, or you might think, oh, what's this? I got itch. You might find not like you're covered in a rash, but again, I'm no doctor, but it feels like that, this is where you're going to want to start to cook or eat a little healthier, because you will find that when you eat certain things, your body is going to give you a reaction. So
Mm.
that's what we see kind of coming up for Michelle. And my body, I used to not be allergic to anything, but it's like the older I get,
Oh, no kidding, man.
I I get even outside allergies too. And I used to never have that. But even eating things,
I've been allergic to chocolate since I was like 10
yeah,
or
I know.
11. I
Yeah,
eat it, but it's one of those, and it's shellfish. I have a
yeah.
problem with that. I
Hmm.
can eat it, but once I reach a certain threshold, I break out in hives, and I've got them for a week,
Yeah.
and they are
Well,
horrendous.
that was brutal. Yeah. But
Jesus
that's
Christ.
what they're cautioning. Thank you. Her spirit team says, kind of everything in moderation. Do you remember Grandma used to say that?
Yeah.
Everything and really that's a pretty good rule of thumb. So that's kind of what comes
Yeah.
up for
Okay.
Michelle.
All right. Well, Michelle, I hope that helped. Let's move on to Gary. Another, just a reminder, if you have specific questions, Sherry is not answering those during the live stream. After the show, if you want to post in the comments your questions, she'll get to those as soon as she can. Usually tonight, uh, maybe tomorrow.
Okay. First thing that we see with Gary is they showed me a little black cloud that was over him, or if he felt like a little heaviness, a little darkness around him. We see that almost out. You're going to feel, your spirit team says, like you're getting a breath of fresh air. I don't know if you've had a series of undesirable events of like, sometimes that happens, when our energy gets low, something will happen, and then we get over it, and then boom, we get knocked back down. It can be all different things. But with Gary, what's coming up is they just keep saying he's going to feel like he's getting a breath of fresh air and like something has lifted. And the energy feels better, a lot better around his home. Um, And that's what comes up. And because they just show me it brighter. Everything is brighter in his home. And one thing too, they say make sure you carve out time to have fun. I don't know if you do the certain thing every day, but they're saying if you do, make sure that you carve out just time just for you. Not helping other people, not doing other things, just for you. And so that's what comes up for you, Gary, is that we do see, thank you, they, along with the breath of fresh air, they showed me flowers, and I love flowers. It's just like springtime and the flowers. It feels like a new beginning coming up for you,
Oh,
Gary.
well, that's good. That's a good reading. How about we go to Maria? What do you have for her?
Okay. Oh boy, we they showed me you in your dresser drawer and in your closet. You're just taking things, throwing them over. Like I don't like this, or this doesn't fit, or I don't like this. Why do I have that? So we see you going through a lot of your clothing and getting rid of it, and that's okay. I don't know if you're wanting to lose weight, but they just showed me oh a thing where you're in it. We're going to say a belt, but it keeps getting smaller. So I don't know if you're wanting to lose weight, because if you are, you're going to. And maybe this is why your clothes don't fit, which is much better than having your clothes not fit because you've gained weight. So we do see where you're, not only with clothes, we see where you're going through literally like what you would call a spring cleaning and getting rid of things that don't serve you. And you like having less is more. I know I've said this 100 times, but I still want to say it. I own a cleaning business. I can tell you 10 things about somebody by the way that they live and and the way that they keep their house. And if somebody's house is real cluttery, then their chances are they're real scatterbrained. It so try it next time you go into somebody else's house,
Yeah, I
Maria,
will.
and in everybody, because you'll be able to pinpoint it. So we see again with her going through, clearing things out. Oh, and they said um, even maybe people in your life too that might feel toxic. Um, you might start to distance yourself from some of them, but that's okay because whenever we get rid of something, it just leaves room for new adventures to come in. So that's what comes up for Maria.
All right. On to Lily. What do you
Okay,
have?
let's see what we've got. Okay, what's coming up is they're kind of throwing me into your home. I'm hearing knocks. I'm hearing different noises that are out of the normal. I don't know if you've been hearing things move or hearing noises or maybe even voices, but it does feel like that we've got some spirits around, not in a bad way. Not that they're bad spirits. It actually feels like it's some of your ancestors, and one feels like a gentleman that's coming in, and they just want to be recognized, and they're coming in. Oh, and because they're showing me a rainbow around you. When they show me a rainbow, that means healing is coming in. So I don't know if you've been asking for help, but sometimes when we do that, when we get down and out, our loved ones on the other side can know our energy, and they'll come around to see if they can help. So that's kind of what we're getting here is you're getting a lot of your loved ones from the other side coming in, um, and they're just bringing you healing. Healing can come on a lot of different levels. It can be the physical body. It can be the emotional, the mental. It can even be with your finances. So keep that in mind. They're there to help. And if you do feel or see things move out of the corner of your eye, then ask, who's here? Um, Usually it's the first thought. Um, but that's what we see. And again, nothing to scare you. I love when stuff like that, happens,
Yeah.
Bobby. you know, Remember we were raised in a haunted house, Bobby.
Uh-huh. I know. I know.
You don't have anything weird in your house happen, do you?
In my house?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Huh.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
So, how about Sherry? Spells it
Uh,
the right way.
oh yeah, because we were talking about that. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got going on for Sherry. First thing Spirit showed me is her kind of split, like right here. So you might be coming to a part here in the very near future to where you feel like you're just split in your decision making. And you might even find it hard to make a decision. And it can be a big decision on maybe relationships, or it could even be a decision on what you're going to order at a restaurant. And so I'm asking Spirit, why is she always doing this? Oh, thank you. Because your higher self is saying, and your spirit guide saying, oh, we're kind of working with her to give her the opportunity to feel which feels better. Not so much what looks better on paper, oh, this, and we write it down, but what feels better? What does your body want to eat? Of course, does it want to eat a chocolate cake or does it want to eat a salad? But if you feel into it, you can really feel the energy. Same way with people. Oh, should I do this or that? Envision the two choices that you have. In your mind, go down the one avenue and say, okay, now show me if I do this, if I stay with this person or whatever, show me how that would feel. Is it a dark feeling? Is it heavy? And then say, okay, so, if I leave this person, how would that feel? Oh, it feels lighter. So your guides are going to give you a lot of opportunity to where you feel split, to where you can really work with knowing that you know that you know. Because I don't know if she's been meditating, but it feels like her vibration is really, really getting higher. So a lot of ways that her guides are starting to work with her, opening up the ear chakra. She might start to hear things and ask, what does this mean? And so they're just saying they're wanting you to stay out of the analytical and get down into the gut feeling. So that's what comes up for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I know it's hard to distinguish what comes from, spirit and what comes from your own mind,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, I, whenever I've gotten something that I just knew was from up there, it just came to me instantly.
Hmm.
I didn't even I didn't even finish my question in my mind,
Right.
and I had that answer.
Hmm. But a lot of times too, it's a lot easier to, especially when you're working with yourself, when you want to answer.
Yeah,
Easiest way is to start with a yes or no question.
yeah,
And then you just kind of sit in a quiet place and you can feel it might feel heavier. I know what you're talking about. Sometimes it's lightning fast, but not everything, not all of our questions are answered like that.
yeah.
So
How about Veronica? What do you have for her?
okay, let's see what we've got going on here. I don't know if she sings, but Spirit loves when she sings. It might not sound good, maybe it does, but it really opens up the throat chakra. And I love to sing. I'm not good at it. I do it when nobody's home. But that is how I transmute some trauma. And it is through voice and through sound. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. But I don't know what it's called, wailing or something, like where they go, ah, like that. But it
Oh,
almost like brings it all up and out. So that's what they're saying with you. Sound is going to be a really big thing for you. Things might even sound differently. But they're also talking about being able to use your voice to help clear. They keep calling it kind of some stuck energy. And you will find that when you do that, of course, you probably want to do that when you're alone, but they're also saying that when you continue to do that, when you start to have conversations with people, you will find that you're really able to articulate yourself well. You'll be able to really say what it is that you're feeling, and the other person really gets you, and you'll just feel like that you and the people that you're talking with, your energy clicks. You know how sometimes when you talk to somebody and you're not really feeling it, but they
Hmm.
said with her, and I'm drawn into the work arena. So she must need to use her voice a lot. See how my throat is kind of
Yeah.
getting sticky now. I need to start doing some of the wailing, like I said. But that
Not,
really
not,
is,
not now.
but
No
that
singing either. No
I
singing.
know. I get to singing. I belted out. Poor
Yeah.
Dave. He's really good at just tuning me out, especially in the car, because then I get it echoes around and my
Oh,
little
yeah.
surround sound. Ah. So that's what comes up for her is all about the voice and sound healing. And again, I was going to say, oh, you can use the drums or the bells, but they really want it to be her voice. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
what comes up for Veronica.
All right, Veronica, hope that helped you. And now let's go to Carrie.
Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Huh, that's funny. They showed me like pulling one little hair out of your head. Um, and I was on a conversation before we did this show. Um, and I said to the person, oh, God knows how many hairs you have on your head. And this is kind of what they're kind of downloading in your guides are coming through saying that you have a lot of helpers on the other side, lot of angels, big hitters that can come in and that really want to work with you. And they don't ever want you to feel like you're alone. A lot of times we might put out a request for help and it doesn't come in a timely fashion or it doesn't come the way that we think. And then we think, oh, well, no, they're not listening to us. I don't have anybody on the other side. Your spirit guides and your helpers and the angels want me to tell you they do hear your prayers and your cries for help. Um, your life might have, gosh, I feel like there's been a lot going on in your life that's really kind of held you back. Situations, maybe family life, childhood, just a lot of obstacles. But they want me to tell you that it's just made you stronger and that we see someone helping you in a lot of ways financially. Maybe a move is coming up, but they just show me like a life jacket with a rope just thrown to you, and you got people that will really just, and these are physical people on the earth plane too. So you got a lot of people, the angels, your guides, and one person in particular that's really going to help you out of a pickle, so to speak.
Hmm.
That's what
Yeah,
comes up
interesting.
for Carrie.
All right, Carrie. This isn't a request for a reading, but Shining Love, Light, Truth. Happy Earth Day. Is it Earth Day today? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
But if it is, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
And I do recycle. So
I do
I,
too.
I treat Mother Earth as nicely as I can. I don't
Mhm.
litter and um,
I have an electric lawnmower. Do you?
no,
Okay.
no.
You're not as earthy as I am.
I know. I don't have an electric car either.
I don't either.
So,
But I
um,
don't drive a ton places anymore.
yeah.
Retired.
Hmm.
All right, Mihaela. What do you have
Okay,
for
let's
her?
instantly they just show me like getting pulled back, getting pulled back. I don't know if you keep finding yourself looking back at a past situation. I was going to say a relationship. It could be a relationship. It could be, they call it a situation of where you wish you wouldn't have said something, or it doesn't feel like, yeah, it almost feels like, oh, I might have put my foot in my mouth, or somebody misunderstood me, something of that nature. Your spirit team says you're the worst on yourself. Sometimes, we can beat ourselves up over something and it doesn't even affect the other person. It's kind of like there's something here. It feels like she's beating herself up over something in the past, a situation. And honestly, it really didn't ruffle the feathers too much, not as much as what you're doing to yourself. So Spirit is just saying when you do find yourself looking in a rearview mirror at the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, just ask, what do I need to learn? That way, you'll make sure not to maybe do it again in the future. It's all a school. This place is just a school. And things that come up, they mirror to us what it is that we need to work on. That's why two people can be walking down the street side by side, and one person can see a beautiful rainbow and the other person can see a dog fight, and they won't see the other, so everybody sees life differently. And it's just what they need to experience. So that's kind of what's coming up for Michaela.
Okay.
You looked at me weird, Bobby. Were you looking at me weird, or were you looking at the?
I'm just trying to
Oh,
balance, listening to you with, all these requests coming in and also Vivian. She's up next.
all right, Vivian. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, they're throwing me into the job arena. And they say there might be some decisions or choices that you need to make. I don't know if you're wanting to switch positions. May not be switch where you're at, but maybe a different position. Doesn't mean you're going to leave your company where you're at. It feels like you might go to a different position. One with the minute I said that, and my hand went like this, and they filled it with more money, and they said one with more money, because your hand goes down further, and we like that, more money. So this is it, because we like your head. We like the way that you can really soak up information, and you're really a good worker. Sometimes, they just kind of want to throw this out there. At our jobs, people who are the real good go-getters and they do a whole bunch, sometimes they might do two people's job or a lot of work. And then they always expect that. So now here's the bar way up here. So now you're always, so they're saying you don't have to, you don't have to kill yourself at work. They said you do a great job. And because the more that you do, the more they're going to want you to do. So they're saying to kind of keep the stress down for you, just do a great job, because it feels like you're a good worker, whatever it is that you do. And then they said, that way the stress level, because what you're doing is good enough. But they showed me a ladder coming down, and they showed me you going up the ladder of success. Maybe just be one step, but that's one step higher than where you're at. So I don't know if she's wanting a different job or whatever, but this is what comes in for Vivian.
Okay. Well, I hope that helped you, Vivian. And now let's move to Anna.
Okay,
After
Anna,
her.
let's see what we've got. Oh, I like her energy. One thing that's coming up is they kind of showed me her out on a dance floor, and just like, pooh, they say, just dance like nobody's watching, just go through life and just have fun and be yourself. It feels like that you have been walking around carrying big, heavy bricks. So you've had a lot of weight on your shoulders, and these bricks are literally on your shoulder. And you know what? You're sick of doing that. We just see you kind of pushing them off, and you're like, you know what? I can't keep stressing myself out, because the older you get, the harder it is on you. Not that you're old, but I'm going by with me and my stress. And then,
Yeah,
it's like the older you are, it really does catch up to you.
it does.
Yeah. And what we're seeing with Anna, and they're showing me, is that she's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm perfect just the way I am. I'm going to just, If I want to get out here and dance, I don't care if people make fun of me. And it's like you just do things that maybe used to make you fearful or make you step outside of your box, but you're getting to the point you're going to really start to feel it in the next several weeks, to where eh, you're just going to be you. And it's going to feel like literally 1,000 pounds are off your shoulders. So that's what comes up for Anna.
Okay. Good reading. Now, how about Morgan? What do you have for
Okay,
her?
let's see what we've got. They show me Morgan with her nose in a book. Doesn't mean that, could mean that she's going back and getting some type of schooling. But she's really got her nose in there. So I'm asking Spirit, show me a little bit more. When she gets a hold of something, man, she just likes to get a lot of information. But it does feel like that she's studying or learning something. Might have to do with a job. Sometimes an example, if you work in an office, they might change the computer systems. Oh, you got to learn the new system. It feels like it's something at work that they've changed, or they might be adding in something that she is learning. And then I feel like a little bit of stress, but they're just saying that's okay. We do see where you're pretty good at retaining information. When you don't understand something, ask. And that's what they're saying. Don't be afraid to ask. If you don't know what it is that you're doing, that it's better to ask than to assume that you know it and then don't do it right. So they're just saying make sure that you ask. So that's what comes
Okay.
up for Morgan.
All right. And we'll move on to Cordelia.
Okay. Let's see what we've got going on here. They instantly threw me into her heart chakra. And it feels like it gets really big and fluttery, and then it just closes. And it just gets really big. I almost feel like I'm having a panic attack or something in her energy. And I'm no doctor, but I just feel like a lot of maybe stress. And I got to tell you, it would be like if I drank a bunch of coffee with caffeine or something, that jittery feeling. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm asking Spirit, why are they showing me that? Just a lot of nervousness. You do tend to maybe want to keep your hands busy. Sometimes when we keep our hands busy, it kind of throws our mind off, so we can't worry about our emotions, things of this nature. And they're saying sometimes just sit with it. If your body is doing something that you don't like, if you've got aches or pains or fluttering of your heart, whatever it may be, kind of sit with it. Of course, if you got to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. But they're just saying kind of feel it. And you can even ask it. Your body, it stores all our memories. An example, I never watch scary movies. If I sit and watch a scary movie, even like Survivor, I'll be my body is so tense, and I don't even realize it, and so your mind doesn't know the difference between a vivid imagination or reality. So that's kind of what they're saying. The body is the last stop. So there might be a need to kind of do some meditation, do some clearing work, do some shadow work, whatever it may be. And of course, if you feel like you have to go to the doctor.
Hmm.
But that's kind of for everybody, is that the body, it's even like if you're walking, and we've all had this, and all of a sudden it'll feel like you got an arrow in your arm. Like you'll have a sharp pain, and then you'll be, oh my God, and then it just kind of goes away. It's like energy coming at you.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff going around. The body's the last stop. So
Hmm. Okay. Well, I
that's
hope
what
that helped. Yeah.
comes up for her.
Let's move on to Karen.
Okay, let's see. One thing that comes up with Karen is that they're showing me a lot of times she might want to smile when she doesn't want to. Because they kind of show me one side of her face is like a frown, and then the other side comes up like a smile. Um, and so they're saying, thank you. They show me a raccoon, and you know, a raccoon has the little mask on, and they're saying just take off the mask and again work on. Um, you don't have to be please everybody. You're never going to please everybody. You're not. I'm not. Nobody's ever going to please everybody. So they're saying the best thing to do is just to be yourself. Take off that mask and just be authentic and use your words. Words, people, so many times people assume that you know what you're saying, but they don't. And that happens a lot when people text. You know, texting can throw people off because it can be misinterpreted the wrong way. But that's what we're seeing with her. They're saying don't assume that people know how you're feeling. You've got to use your words and express it to them. So that is what comes up for Karen.
Okay. Now we'll move to Kathy. Kathy Macy.
Okay, hi Kathy. Let's see what we've got going. It's funny. They show me, I don't know what she's taking off, and then she just like almost like you're running, running, running. I'm asking Spirit, why is she in a hurry? It's like you're in a hurry, in a hurry. Let's see what it is that we've got going on here. Your spirit team is asking you to slow down a little bit because, as we all know, when we get into a big hurry, that opens up more opportunities for mistakes to come in. And so they're just saying kind of slow down a little bit and catch your breath. Because it just feels like you're going to feel like you're behind the eight ball and you've got a lot of things you got to do and you don't know how you're going to do this. And again, they're just saying, take it a little bit slower, and they just keep saying, catch your breath. Because I feel like that, oh, thank you, Spirit. They're saying, really work on your breath work when you find yourself in a hurry, or you're panicking, or you're worrying about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. They're saying, pull yourself back with your breath. Breathe in and hold it a little bit and breathe out. And then that way you can kind of regroup. And that way you won't feel, it'll kind of slow everything down to where you won't feel like you're in the flight mode. So that's kind of what comes up with Kathy for right now. So
Okay.
we're in the near future.
Yeah, hope that helps. Now let's move to Polly.
Okay. All right, let's see what we've got going here. Okay. We like that. They show me her doing cartwheels because I said, oh, Spirit, show me. What's her 3 months like? What's her 6 months like? They show me her doing cartwheels, and even doing cartwheels sometimes up a hill, which that I think would be impossible. But they're saying that she's really going to take challenges well. We all have obstacles and roadblocks or things that come up. But they said she almost makes fun of it, or makes it fun. Kind of like turning, what is that, lemons into lemonade. That's what we see coming up for her. Let's see what else. There was something else here. Okay, all right. I got to tell you, when I get into her energy, I get a little discombobulated. And I almost can't finish one thought, and then I want to get into another one, another one, another one. We would suggest that you work on some kind of grounding too, because now they're showing me the aura, it is coming up a little bit on your legs. We like to see it down. So anytime you can ground, get outside. For you, water is very good. Any type of water. Even drinking a lot of water. They showed me you drinking water. The more the merrier. But yeah, kind of work on grounding just a bit. And of course, it's great, that you do cartwheels and you're going to start to take life a little bit more lighthearted because you're going to realize that you're going to go back through your timeline. And when you think of things that really devastated you and you didn't know how you would get through it, and all of a sudden you did. So now it's like when things happen, you don't jump down a rabbit hole and stay there as long as you used to, or else you're not going to. So that is what comes up for Polly.
Okay. All right. We are about halfway. We're a little over halfway done here.
Wow.
Why don't we, I promised we would do some alphabet messages today.
Mm.
So why don't we go ahead and do it now since we're like halfway through?
Okay.
So now we're going to do some alphabet messages. Sherry's going to provide a spiritual message to everyone here, either listening to the show live right now or through a recorded version of it in the future. Works either way. Everyone watching the show right now needs to select a letter. That letter is either going to be A, B, or C. Don't think about it. Whatever immediately popped into your head when I first said to pick one of those three letters, that's going to be your letter. Okay, so we want this to come from spirit and not from your mind. That way you can't think about it, just has to come to you. Just the way the spirit messages will come to you. Okay, so now you have your letter. Everyone should have their letter. Sherry's going to provide a spiritual message to you based on the letter that you chose. Sherry, you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. So what I do is before we do the show, I kind of ground myself, get into spirit, and I ask my guides tell me what they want each letter to be. So I've written them down. So now here they go. If you chose A, the owl energy is coming in. Owls can see through the darkness, and this would be a good time for you to do some shadow work. If you don't know what shadow work is, Google it. It's where you go back through some trauma, childhood trauma. It could be trauma from last week, but they're wanting you to notice what pushes your buttons. And when it does, ask why. Why did that offend me? Why did that hurt my feelings? Why does that make me angry? Keep asking why? And you will realize that each time you ask why, it's going to take you a little bit deeper. So you might not be upset for what you think you are, but if you really sit and do some shadow work, you'll get to the root of the problem. And when you do, you'll find that you won't get triggered as much in that same situation. Not that it one and done. It's a process. There's no finish line. Okay, if you chose B, hummingbird energy is coming in for you. This energy is busy and it's fun. Good time to call up friends, even people that you haven't talked to in a really long time. This is the time for you to socialize. It's also a time for you to focus on being a good listener. Everybody wants to be heard. And we've all been, in conversations with people when they're talking and we're not really into the conversation. But this hummingbird energy is coming in just to give people, let everybody have a little bit of stand on that platform. Everybody wants to be listened to and heard. So this is what's coming in for you. Have fun, mix and mingle. And of course, it can't be all about you talking about you. You've got to be able to listen too. So if you picked C, this is the cat energy is coming in for you. It's asking you to do whatever you want, not what other people want you to do, or to an extent. You can't go to work and say, no, my cat energy is coming in. I'm not going to do anything you tell me. But they're saying, if you want to take you a little cat nap, so many times in the afternoon, I'll come home from work and my second job and I'll be like, oh, I've got all of this stuff to do, but then I feel tired. Lay on the couch, take your little cat nap if you have to, um, like a cat. And then they're also saying, be playful and have fun. You know, cats are funny. They can be standoffish too. Sometimes they won't even act like they like you. So they just follow the way that they want to be in the moment. And that's what's coming up if you picked C, is really just listen to yourself, your body, and to an extent, kind of just do what you want to do. So those are the alphabet messages. So I hope they were helpful.
Yeah. Good. And they may not, you may think they may not apply right now, but give it a week, maybe it will, right?
I'm surprised Debbie Castle didn't say, Bobby, what letter?
Well, it probably down here. Mine was an A, so I have Al energy.
Yeah,
Al energy.
yep. Got to do some
Shadow work.
shadow work.
Okay. I'll have to Google it. I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, let's go to Maria. I
Hi,
know she's
Maria.
hi, but she further down she has a post requesting a reading. So
Okay. All right, Maria. Let's see what we've got going on here. They're showing me you in a revolving door. And it feels like when I get into your energy, it's like one thing happens and then here comes another, and then here comes another, and here comes another. They said eventually that revolving door is going to come to an end, and your life won't feel like it's in crisis mode. And they use that word crisis mode. Um, you're going to start to check off things. They kind of showed a list to where, oh, I can check this off. And this is maybe physical issues or things you want to get taken care of. Kind of reminds me of me. I'm like, oh, I got to get this tooth fixed. You know, I need to call a dentist. I got to get new glasses and do that. So that's kind of what they're showing me with Maria, is that she's marking things off her checklist of things that need to be done. Because eventually they said you're going to run out of things that need to be done. Not always, of course, we know it kind of comes, but yours came in a cluster, and they're just showing me that you're going to finally get off of that hamster wheel. You're going to finally get to where you can live life and have fun. I heard them say live life to the fullest. So get out there and make sure that you carve out time every day to where they're just saying to where your mind shuts down. So that means don't have on a television, don't be on your cell phone. When you find yourself worrying, then just stop. Thank you. Irene says we call it meditation. It's so funny. But yeah, like just sit in silence without even listening to a guided meditation. And when a thought comes, just don't follow it. You're not going to stop the thoughts, but they say just don't follow it. Because your mind needs time to reset. Your mind needs time, they said, to quit worrying. So that's what's coming up for Maria. So a lot of things going on, but I hear Spirit say, this too shall pass. So
okay.
hopefully she's not going through too big of a rough time.
Yeah. We move to Debbie Castle.
Hi, Debbie. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. So funny. I got this message for somebody else. They showed me with Debbie too. She's going like this. Only Debbie's like marching through. She's not in a hurry. She is really getting a lot of things done. This is what I love, because Spirit now is starting to kind of combine some of the messages. Just like the last message I gave, how the check marks. That's what they're showing me with Debbie Castle, but this isn't about her body. This is about task or things that need to be done. And they're saying you're just marching right through your to-do list. And it's a great feeling. I'm a big list maker, man. The more things I can mark off my
Yeah.
list, the
You got
better I
you have
feel.
post-it notes like wallpaper, right?
I got so many, I don't even pay attention to them anymore. But I tell you what, I do write lists, and man, I judge my day by how many things I can mark off my list. And if
Uh,
I've marked a lot off, then it's a good day. And that's what we see with Debbie. There's some things that might have been bothering her for a while or itching at her to kind of tie, thank you, they say she's going to tie up a lot of loose ends. Some of these can be legal ends, legal business. Really smart. We love the energy. Um, I don't. She would. I don't know what she does for a living. She would be a good. She would be a good attorney.
really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's what comes up.
Okay, Debbie, hope that helped you. And now we go to Christy. What do you have for Christy?
All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. It's kind of fun. Spirit showed me her at a drive-in movie theater. I think there's only one drive-in here in Indiana left. I used to love going.
Indianapolis, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I get squished in the back seat with you and Debbie. I hated it, but
Yeah.
anyway, got sidetracked. All right, bring it back. Thank you. What they're saying is do things that you used to like to do when you were young. Did you like to dance? You know, roller skating. Roller skating came up. Movies, watch movies. Even some of the movies that you might have seen as a kid. And
Yeah.
you know, sometimes when you do that, you will see things a lot differently. And you'll be able to say, wow, okay, I finally get this. I never knew that's what they meant. And finally, after 60 years, um, no, I won't bring that up. But anyway, that's what's coming up with Christy is do things that you used to love to do. Because what that's going to do, of course, it's going to bring out your inner child and it's going to bring out that creative side of you. And everybody, we need to have the balance. We can't always be analytical. We have to have fun and be creative. And that's when the juices really start to flow. You're going to find yourself dabbling in a lot of different little hobbies. You might even do some pottery, things of this nature, and find that you really love it. It gives your mind time to rest. So that's what comes up for
Yeah.
Christy.
Mine definitely needs its rest time, its playtime,
Yeah, you're always like on the computer, and I can't do that.
I know. Well, but for me, that's rest. I'm relaxing. It's not like I'm doing work. I'm like watching videos and they're entertaining or, you know?
That's like, because of course, everybody knows I still clean houses. And sometimes I think, oh, I hate to do this. And then I think, why? Because if I were at home, you know me, Bobby, I never sit still. If I'd be clean, I'd be doing something.
You'd be
So I might
cleaning
as
your
well
home.
get paid. Yeah, so I might as well get paid,
Yeah.
for somebody else. So,
Yeah. I know. And
or
I've,
going,
I've been at a desk in front of a computer my entire career, so I'm comfortable. I mean, this is where I relax.
that's funny because when I feel off kilter, like emotionally, I clean because
Oh, really?
that makes me feel normal.
Mm,
So,
yeah. Good. All right, Christy, I hope that helped you. Uh, let's move to Clarence. What do
all
you
right,
have?
Clarence, let's see what we've got. Boy, your spirit team showed me a star above your head, and they said, the sky is the limit. If you want something, even if your mind is telling you that's not going to work, I don't know how this is going to happen, I can't figure it out. If you throw your energy into it, make sure that you understand that no is not an option. Uh, they're reminding me of when I started my cleaning business. You know, failing, that was not an option. I had to have it succeed, and it did. That's what they're saying with you. If you want something bad enough, you can have it. And there again, they showed me the star above your head, and they're saying spirit wants you out on bigger platforms. So of course, they were kind of in the job arena at first, but now they're saying people would like to hear what you have to say. And normally, when they show me people out on a bigger platform, that might be somebody who does have the podcast, who does this and that. So you might, they say, stumble upon where you find yourself maybe in front of some sort of an audience. Doesn't have to be online, but where we do see where eyes are on you. Maybe you're teaching, but they just keep saying, the older and older and older that you get, the more, gosh, they just said, the more of a following that you will have. So I don't know if it's even opened up anything like that for you. Sometimes spirit likes to plant the seed. So that's just what comes up for Clarence.
Okay, we got about 25 minutes left. We'll try and get it to many people as we can. Just a reminder, Shari is doing general readings tonight on the live stream. If you have a specific question that you want, or if we just can't get to you tonight, which could be possible, then when the video is over, when the live stream is over, go into the video comments section, post a question. Post your question there. Post your request for a reading there. Shari will get to you as soon as she can. Hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow. This is from Chrisser. I say Chrisser. I'm not sure what she's talking about, but do you have a general reading for her?
Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. First thing that Spirit shows me is books again, but with you, they show me this feels like on a spiritual journey. They show me that, man, when you get a hold of something, you just cannot get enough. And you go to a lot of places, and a funny thing will happen. Let's just say your spirit team is saying she'd really like astrology. Let's say you start getting on astrology, then you will find that it's going to come up everywhere you go, even if you might meet somebody and they might be into astrology. So things of this nature, but it feels like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Even essential oils, but candles too. So you might be going on a spiritual journey if you're not already. But they're just showing me you're really diving in deep. Okay. And I got to tell you, astrology came up for her, but also like past life regressions and hypnosis. Maybe to where you go back and get people like in a hypnotic state or the past life regression and take them back to childhood. This is just something if you so choose, but they're just saying that we see where you're going to really start to snoop around and try to get a lot of information about different modalities in the spiritual realm. So that's what comes up for her.
Okay. Phoenix.
Okay.
What do you have for Phoenix?
All right, let's see what we've got going on here. They show me her just kind of beating her head up against the wall. And it feels like whatever it is she's trying to do, it's not really panning out the way that she thinks. But we do see your spirit team is funny. They said, if you don't want to beat your head up against the wall, then move away from the wall. So they're just saying that if something that you want becomes really super hard to obtain, then maybe throw your thoughts or your energy into a different direction, into something different. If you want something and it's not panning out or coming, and it's just literally like you're banging your head up against the wall, then they said switch gears and try to focus on getting something different. So that's what comes up for Phoenix.
Okay. Well, I hope that helps you. We've got Maggie in Ireland here. What do you have
Okay.
for Maggie?
All right. Hi, Maggie in Ireland. That's one place I would like to go is Ireland.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Good
Yeah.
spirits down over in Ireland.
Uh-huh.
A lot of good beer too, I think.
Oh, okay. You haven't been there, have you?
Not to Ireland, no. England. Not
Okay.
Ireland.
All right. Let's get in here just a bit. It's funny. Now you threw me into a bar. They show me her wife. All right. So let's see what we've got. One thing that comes up for Maggie is that we see where Maggie, um, everybody always says, "Oh, what is my life's purpose? What am I?" A lot of us have more than one life's purpose. One thing that comes up for Maggie is that we always see where she will find herself in positions or in situations to where she's always serving other people. Now, we can serve people in a lot of different ways, but there's a part of her that just feels like that completes her. She likes or is going to really like helping other people. It's like the more she helps people, the better she's going to feel. We also love animals for her. Of course, the dogs and the cats, but any kind of critter. She's going to find, if she doesn't already, have a very soft spot for all of nature's little critters. Of course, people, but of animals too. Even they show me like a spider. I won't kill a spider. Um, and that's what they're kind of showing me with her is that she realizes that everything has a soul and that everything deserves to be loved. And her heart just keeps opening and opening. And she does her best in positions where she serves other people.
Oh, well, that's
So
nice.
when you feel off kilter, how we were talking, I clean, Bobby gets on the computer, you help people. So,
Yeah. All right. How about Joey? What do you have for him?
Joey. Okay, let's see what we've got. All right. One thing that his spirit team is saying is with him, they put a pair of ice skates on. Like, I don't know if he's wanting to move jobs or if he has trouble keeping a job or staying in the same position, or maybe he just gets bored easily, but it just feels like he kind of boomerangs and might jump from position or job or things back and forth, back and forth. But that's okay. All who wander are not lost, because we do see where eventually he finds something there and then he digs his heels in, so to speak, or his ice skates in, because they showed his ice skates digging a big hole in the ice
Oh,
to
really?
where he's gonna hunker down and stay in a position. So I don't know if he's been jumping around, but that we do see where eventually he's going to find something that, thank you, that lights his fire, is what they say.
Okay. All right. I hope that helps. Let's go. Let's stay over there in the United Kingdom area, and
Okay,
let's go with
Scotland.
Samantha from Scotland.
All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. Now, Spirit uses my memory, and I don't know what the weather's like in Scotland, but I do know what it's like here, so my guides have to work off of that. But we're just now coming into we're in spring now. Then we're gonna have summer,
They are
fall.
too.
Oh, okay. Should have paid more attention in school, but I didn't. Anyway, what they're
This is
showing
the
me is
northern hemisphere. Everything is in spring.
okay. Notice how that just went right over me because I'll never remember that. Anyway, what they're showing me with Samantha is by the time snow comes, her life is, they just say fantastic. I don't know what it is. I feel love all around me. Just in probably one of the better places emotionally that you might have ever been in, or, it's up there in the top five. So we love winter for you.
Mm.
So, and I got to tell you, it just feels like a lot of love. I don't know if she's going to get married or have kids, or even if she is married and have kids, the love is just overwhelming. So we love, they say that by the time the first snowflake. So that's what comes in
Really? Wow.
for go with the flow. I love everybody's
We
usernames.
got another new one here. Brandy.
All
What can you
right.
tell Brandy?
Let's see what we've got. First thing that comes up is your spirit team wants you to be your biggest cheerleader. And so if there's something about your physical appearance that you don't like and you are able to change it, then change it. And if you can't change it, then make peace with it. And they're just saying, you're the only person that's going to be with you your entire life. So, and just like I'm the only person that's going to be with me. So you got to really love every single thing about you. So this is what you're going to be presented with here the next several months coming out, is really work on being your biggest cheerleader. When you find yourself putting yourself down with your thoughts, or I don't like this or I don't like that, instantly come back with something that you do love about yourself. And one other thing too that comes up for Brandy is I don't know if she's been journaling or writing things, but Spirit really likes for her to write. And this isn't just a journal. There might be something that she writes that people will read. So that's what comes up for Brandy.
Hmm. Interesting. All right. I hope that helped, Brandy. We go from a newbie and Brandy to a veteran, Rusty Woodpecker.
I was
Welcome
just gonna
back.
say when every time when I say I love the user's name, I always think of Rusty Woodpecker.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, hi Rusty. All right, let's see what we've got. One thing, the first thing that came up from your spirit team, um, don't overdo it when it comes to doing physical work, because we don't want to hurt our back. Sometimes we can lift things funny if we're twisting our back. They're just cautioning you, watch when you lift things. Don't lift and twist at the same time. Of course, I'm no doctor. That's just what comes up. Let's see if there's anything else real quick that comes up for Rusty. Um, you're going to find where your protectors are really stepping up for you, because you're going to be like, wow, I dodged that bullet. And what they showed me is like a board on the ground with a nail sticking up. Doesn't mean that this will actually happen, but they're using this for symbolism. And you step down and you're barefoot and you're like, oh my God, like I didn't even see that. I just missed it by that much. Little things like that, you're going to be like, whoo, man, wow, that car almost hit me. They just missed me. It's like you're going to be like, wow, I must really be protected. So that's what's coming up for you, Rusty, is your protectors are going to be working a little bit of overtime, but that's all
Yeah.
right. They like to feel needed.
Yeah.
So that's what comes up for Rusty.
Good. Well, good. So, Sherry, you like usernames. How about Busy Mommy?
Busy mommy. I
What do
love
you
this.
What do you have for Mommy?
Okay, let's see. All mommies are busy. Instantly, now we're not invading privacy here, but man, they are showing me one child very sensitive, very intuitive. One of your children, and we're pretty sure you know which one, They just, because they show me the eyes lit up. Um, you're not going to be able to pull the wool over this kid's eye. It's like if you go smiling but you feel sad, you're going to throw this kid off because this kid is going to be really good at picking up on energy. Going to be very intuitive and very sensitive. Um, gonna have to talk a lot with your children. You probably already do. Um, but this child might have a difficult time trying to understand why people do or say the things that they do. So there's going to be a lot of explaining with this child because this child is going to be very just always asking questions. And so try to answer as many questions as you can for this child. Again, very highly intuitive. Pay attention to what your children say. Because even if they say they have imaginary friends, they're probably talking to somebody. So
Yeah.
that's what comes up.
Okay. We're about 10 minutes away. Let's see how many we can get in. Go with Catherine. What do you have?
All right, Catherine, let's see what we've got going on here just a bit. They show me at points in time you might feel like just pulling your hair out. When you get to where you get really stressed out, your spirit team is saying just take a step back and regroup and even sleep on it. Because then they're saying you might come up with a different solution in the morning. So ask your spirit guides. You have spirit team. We all have spirit guides. They want you to ask them for help. Ask for anything, especially before you go to bed at night. Then your analytical mind can be out of the way, and they will come in and might come in through your dreams. But they are going to be there to help you. And they can help with healing, they can help with finances, they can help with situations, everything. So they're saying ask. So that's what comes up for Catherine.
Okay. All right. Hope that helped you. I know she didn't give her first name, but let's say Lotus. Let's say her name is Lotus.
Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. We see some sadness inside. And it's starting to brew up. And some of this, when I get into your aura, it doesn't look like it's all yours. We would suggest that you cleanse your aura. Do it with your intention. I release anything in my aura that doesn't serve me, blow it out, and then just envision all the way around you as a beautiful yellow light, because we see a lot of sadness that comes up. Sometimes it comes up for no reason at all. This can be other people's energy in your field, but can also be from things from your childhood that you have stuffed down. And it's starting to kind of come up, and it will come up in layers. So you may think, well, I've already done shadow work, I've already done inner child work. They're just showing me where it's starting to bubble up a little bit more. But that's good, because that's going to be a lot of clearing coming up for you.
All right. Well, I hope that helped you. The Diamond Woman.
Okay. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. First thing that came up, they showed me the movie Shark Tank. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but it's where people come with inventions and things they've thought of. They said, when I get into her mind, boy, she got a lot of good ideas. Doesn't mean all inventions, but it's like a lot of things, a lot of great ideas, but we don't see where you follow through. Or else you really start out good and then you kind of peter out and lose interest. But they're saying some things, they're taking me down through your timeline, where some opportunities that come your way, you don't really give them a good college try. So they're saying when you start on something new, try to stick with it a little bit longer than what you want to. And then you might find that the kinks, so to speak, kind of work their way out. So we see, again, a lot of good ideas, but just kind of stick with them a little bit longer.
Okay. Let's try two more.
Okay.
We've got 5 minutes. Angel.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see what we've got going on here. They're showing me playing poker, and they're saying don't show your hand. Sometimes, I guess they're saying put your poker face on. We don't have to tell everybody everything we know. And that's kind of what they're saying is keep your cards close to you. Less is more when it comes to words, especially in the next couple of months coming up. It feels like it might be, I feel like I'm in like a work arena, but there's other people. And they're just saying, just keep your hands close and thank you. And then they said, play the hand you're dealt. So, sometimes in poker, wow, I got a great hand. Sometimes, oh, not so much. But that's all right. Sometimes those not so much that we think are really crappy hands, if we play a poker face, sometimes they're the ones that win. So that's the message that comes up.
Okay. All right. And finally, Miley. What do you
All
have
right.
for her?
Let's see what we've got coming up here for her. I almost want to turn around and look at my books on this shelf, and they're just saying we see a lot of books in front of you. Some of them don't interest you, but some do. I don't. Again, here they come. They open up a book. You got your nose in the middle of the book, so we do see where you might start to learn. Schooling is what they said. I was going to say a different job. They said you might learn schooling. So you might be going to school or learning something new here. But you don't have to know, you don't have to figure everything out. What they're kind of dropping in my head, my youngest boy, when he went to college, his first year, he went in and then the second year, it's not what he wanted to do. He kind of switched everything up. So they're saying it's okay to change your mind of whatever it is that you're wanting to do. If you want to do it and it doesn't feel right, then they just say it's okay to change your mind. So that's what comes up for Miley.
Okay. All right. I think that'll do it. We are butting up against our hour and a half time frame. Apologies to the people we couldn't get to, but after the show is over, after the live stream is over, go to the video, type in the comments that you'd like a reading, or if you have a specific question, type that in too. Shari will get back with you. She'll try to get as much as she can tonight, possibly tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we'll try and get, if you're looking for a reading, we'll try and get you satisfied. But
Okay.
other than that, I think we're going to close it down here. Thanks for tuning in for today's show. Thanks to all of our viewers that came to watch the show. We hope you liked it. As always, if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss or a question for Shari to answer, not a reading question, but a different kind of spiritual question, put that down in the comments section too of the video. We'll try to make that happen. Maybe even next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a topic next week.
Yeah.
If you'd like to book your own private reading with Shari, go to psychicshari.com. Click on the Schedule Now button. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as click the little bell icon. That way you'll be notified when there are new videos posted. I think that will do it. Shari, you have anything?
No, yeah. And I know you said that, people can put comments into today or tomorrow. Sometimes we get, people put them in all week long. And I try to check it every day.
Yeah, okay.
And answer them, so.
Okay. All right. We will see you again next Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Okay. Bye,
Appreciate
everybody.
it. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in.